Hello and welcome to Rainy Day Crafting. Okay, today we're going to do another Christmas card. I don't know what day I'm on now, but anyway, I'm on my challenge of doing a card every day for November. So we're talking 30 Christmas cards in the course of the month. So I'm trying to sort of do lots of different ideas. So stick with me and hopefully you'll pick up some tips and techniques and hopefully like what I do. So this is the stamp I'm going to use today. It's from the Woodware collection. Okay, so if you sort of need any numbers or anything, they're all here. So just sort of stop your video and then you can see. But as I recently got it from Craft Stash, so you know I'm sure it is available. Obviously you can get it from other places as well, but I do tend to shop with Craft Stash quite a lot because they do have some very good bargains. Anyway, I really do like them. So again, I've got no affiliation with them. Anyway, it's Woodware and it's obviously this, I say bird with some holly, and you'll probably notice in my card making, I do love hearts. So I'm going to use a stamping platform today. You don't have to have one, but I would say this would probably be on one of my top 10 things you potentially could do with for card making. Okay, so anyway, got one of my one of my textures cards again, which sometimes are a little bit harder to stamp on. But what you then do, if you then wanted to as well do say a job lot of these, what you do is set this up on your stamping platform. There's obviously lots of different ones on the market. I've got a couple actually. This is my husband, not because you know I love my craft, he just sees things and thinks, oh, she might like that. He doesn't probably know I've got them, but other ones, but there we go. Anyway, so quite big stamps. You can see this card is the sort of 5 is it 6x6? I always have to think. Nearly 6, yeah, by nearly 6, so it's a sort of square card. So that's there, and this, put it down on where you want to put it. Oh, I've done it again. You can get a little bag that you can make yourself, or you can buy them, these little dust bags, to make sure there's sort of no other dust on your cards, because then if not the ink won't stick. But you can make one by literally popping a bit of corn flour into a little bit of material and then dust it through. Hang on, I can show you. 2 seconds. This is one I made myself, and I just keep it in a little box, and that's literally, whoops, there's another one there, forget what this come from, but can you sort of see? And so what you do, you sort of do that on there, so that make sure there's no sort of, that'll stamp where you want it to, as opposed to, so then lay your stamp side down exactly where you want it on your card. Okay, shut the door and it should sort of pick itself up. Okay, then over to your VersaFine. I personally like this, and you can also get re-inkers, which I've got. It's a pigment ink for fine detail. The fact is, for fine detail, you know, that's brilliant. So good. This is quite a new stamp, but generally the more you use them, the better they get. Okay, but this is where a stamping platform comes into its own. If you wanted to do a load of these cards in one go, you just literally pop another one in. Can you see? That's because it's on textured card, it's took, but not quite as well, where if you were trying to line that up like on something like this, which it would fit on, you'd have to be very clever. Look a bit dirty, don't it? You'd have to be very clever to get it exactly in the same place. So this is where a stamping platform comes into its own. And if you want to do a job lot of cards, you can literally do one. But what I would do, if you were going to do a job lot and you're planning to not bad. So then clear embossing powder, which you don't have to do, but because I'm going to then do a little bit of sort of colouring on this, it almost allows the edges, when you come to paint, it's almost like giving you a bit of an edge. But this This is Wow Clear Embossing Glossy. Spit it out, Sarah. This is Wow Clear in the finest again, because yeah. So ooh, do you know, I always do this. I've got this big box to keep it in, and it's gone over the edge, and I hate that sort of gritty feeling. Anyway, if you were then doing more, what I would do, if you were just going to be doing a load of these cards, do another one, put the VersaFine on and the embossing powder, and you could put it to one side. Okay, so what I've done today, though, I'll show you, I might as well show you the magic of, just put it out of the way. Right, heat gun. I always like to put this is a bit of, you know, that stuff you use in the oven on a piece of wood, which sort of leaves it on. You can hold it there, because they do get quite hot. A little bit of noise. Now, as you can see, obviously, if you were to now stamp this onto some coloured card, you could just have that effect and you don't have to do anything else with it. But obviously, that's the one I've just done. But I did do a few more, purely because I want to show you, which is easy for you to do as well. If you then stamp up a few more on some other paper, or, you know, sort of thin card. So that's what I've done, because I then, if I start to show you on one of these, just used some Distress Oxide. This stuff is, obviously, you can colour, you can paint, you can Distress Oxide, you can print with, you can almost like watercolour with it. I just think they have a lovely way, and it dries up almost like sort of chalky. Anyway, so I'm just going to show you a little bit, because, you know, because I do this in live time, I don't want to take up any more time, which I'm very pleased that every single one of you that's following me at the minute, which is not that many, you know, and I hope if I don't make them ridiculously long, you'll come back and sort of follow me. Anyway, so all you need is, well, you can put on anything really. I tend to use these little acrylic blocks. So if I'm using the Festive Berry, just literally, can you see? Just pop it on there. Yeah. And then I'm just going to show you one little bit, because, you know, you can colour, paint, or whatever you wish. So these are, have you seen these water brushes? So you fill them up with water and that sort of release a little bit of water. So this is always a bit more difficult to do under the light of, and obviously I'm using it again on textured, so probably have to put it on a bit thicker. Anyway, so basically, I'm trying to rush just because, but because you've printed it up with the VersaFine ink and then embossed it with your clear embossing powder, she now says it doesn't go over the edge, and blow me, I think it's because it's harder to do under this light with the camera. Anyway, so you get the gist. I have slightly gone over there, which is very annoying. So where do I need to show you? So what I would have then done is coloured, you know, the green, the reds, the bird, probably different colours. And then what I then did, because you'd never be able to cut out that line, but if you then cut out, you could cut out every heart if you wanted to. As you can sort of see on this one, I'd painted them, then cut that heart out and that heart out, which would be that one and that one. I'm trying to make this as a quick card so you get the gist of it anyway. So then, and I did the leaves. So if I show you the card then, which is practically finished, okay, so obviously with all these I've got lots of cards, but if you then keep that one, for example, although I painted again that one and that one, if you keep this for another time you could do different ones, or you could do the bird. So keep these little bits all together. What I tend to do is then keep these, because this is a newish stamp, I would probably keep them in a bag with that, so they're all together. So when you then, if you suddenly need to make a card, it's there. So now looking at the card, can you see what I've done? I've cut out a couple of, painted the green leaves, cut a couple of those out. Fussy cut is easy to do. If you cut, if I was now going to cut this one out, you almost turn, literally turn the paper or card as opposed to the scissors. Okay, does that make sense? Because you get a much nicer cut. Okay, so anyway, cutting's cutting, isn't it? So you don't need to sit and watch me cut. So I then cut those out and I raised two of them up. I thought about it afterwards, maybe the bird would have been nicer, you know, popped up. But I popped up a couple of the hearts, which I've done there. And can you see there's a little bit of a mark there, which I might have to put an odd heart there. There's a mark there. So with my sentiment, which I'll show you these some other time when I'm sort of doing, these are sort of job lots of sentiments that then all cut out in one go. So you can have, like I've got like some Christmas sentiments, a little tub of them. I'll just quickly show you. It's this, which I'd print up on the stamping platform. And it's obviously got, you know, wishing you at Christmas, all Christmassy. How many is it? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18 different sentiments. And you can buy a die that comes with it. So you then literally print it up. I still emboss them, which you don't need to. And then you cut them out and keep them in there. This is because I was saying I haven't done much in Christmas stuff this year, but this is my other one. This is all my sort of happy birthdays, you look younger by the day, all sorts of, and you can obviously do it on black, white, any colour card to sort of match your. Anyway, this one says celebrate the season, which is a small little sentiment. And look, this is where, can you see, there's a little bit of red on there. So just took them off. So if I pop that there, make sure it's straight, Sarah. And there we have, I might have to put something on there because there's a little mark there. And there you have quite a nice Christmas card. Just to show you too, can you sort of see these two? The reason I've done this so I could show you is they take a while to dry. So that's a popped up, which you can see under there, the little pads on those two. And then I've literally put some of this Glossy Accents, which is a clear dimensional medium, which you then doesn't run. It's quite thick. I tend to store mine upside down because you can spend ages waiting for it to come through. That's why, and so much so this, I've actually got another new one. It's a spare, although it lasts ages. You don't shake it or anything. Glossy Accents, you can get this anywhere. I mean, it's made by Ranger, and I think I got this from either Craft Stash probably, or Hobbycraft. But because mine was being a little bit troublesome coming through, I cut the end off. So now I definitely have to store it upside down. But I've actually found that's not a problem because it's really ready to use. And so you literally will just pop some of that on there. And that goes on not clear, cloudy looking. And then it dries up this beautiful sheen. Anyway, so I hope, if I now show you actually, then I'll have to leave it to dry because if you touch it. See, it's got a little... So if I just do this, so for his robin redbreast, just give that a little bit of a sheen. Screw it on nice and tight. And I store that in one of these little containers, very easy to access, with my little glue bottles. And that's there at the ready, easy at hand. So if I just hold this one up, can you sort of see? It's muddy looking, not muddy looking, cloudy looking, muddy looking. Listen to me. And that will dry up this beautiful, shiny, clear, almost got like a bit of a rubbery feeling. Anyway, so I hope you enjoyed that card. I've got to put something on there, I think, because I've got a little mark there. I think it's a bit of glue, which is so annoying. Anyway, hope you enjoyed this card. Till tomorrow, take care.